Hi everybody, this is Dan again with CleanGuru, and today I promised you that we would talk about the old saying, a watched pot won't boil, and what that has to do with the cleaning business. Well, you know, at the office we get a lot of phone calls from janitorial business owners, and one of the common questions is, people call in and maybe they've submitted a bid, they've turned in a cleaning proposal, and they want to know, when should I call, what should I say, and how often to follow up is too often. How am I calling too much? And it's understandable. You can tell from talking to folks that they're very worried, they're very concerned. They really want to land this account. They're anxious to call and find out, are we going to get it? Are we not going to get it? Is there a problem? And so it's understandable. One of the problems that comes from this is it does kind of zap them of their energy because they're focused on this one account. They're worried about it. When really, if they could have taken that energy, if they'd have felt free to have their energy, they could go after different accounts or more accounts, because the cleaning business, like any business, is still a numbers game. But the problem is they can get kind of locked into this one account, worried about, will I get it? So we want to talk about it a little bit. Well, first of all, why is this happening? How do we answer the question, when to call back, what to say, and how often is too much? That question isn't really, the answer isn't just some number like call back next Tuesday and here's exactly what to say. The answer lies in why it's happening. So let's see if I can answer this quickly. The reason it might be happening, that they're kind of hoping, when should I call, what should I do, is because from the very beginning they may have just picked up a list of duties, walked around the building with a person without asking many questions, just come back with a proposal and given it to the customer, and that's about it. So when they've turned in the bid and they get back to the office, they're kind of wondering, do they like my price? Are they happy with the duties? I wonder if there's some other problem. They're kind of hoping and wishing it goes okay because they don't have any agreement. So let's compare it to something that might be quite different. If you take charge of the selling situation from the very beginning, then you'll know when to call, what to say, and how often is too often. So let's take a look at that. Let's say from the very beginning, when a prospect calls you and you went out there to talk to them, when they started to talk to you about the duties, the job specifications, that list of work, that you would really make sure that you were both clear on an agreement as far as what areas need to be done when, effectively, efficiently, money-wise, and also effectively in terms of the cleaning. And then, so once you get agreement on that, you could go back to your office, and certainly you could, if it's a regular 3-day-a-week or 5-day-a-week job, you could workload it. That's what we recommend. We have what we think is a terrific workloading program, but you could use some program, some other program. But as long as you come back, that you determine your time from a budgeted time, you could come back, determine your price from a budgeted time. You could come back to your prospect and you could say, listen, Steve, we've talked about the duties and we have agreement. I've workloaded it, and now I know it takes about 2 people 3.5 hours, and here's the pricing for that. Here's the price range. Now, how does that fit into your budget price-wise? He says, that's pretty close. That works okay. Well, what about the time? Can we clean in the evenings? He says, yeah, I think after 5:30 or 6, that'd be fine. Well, when you've talked a lot and gotten agreement on the duties and the staffing and the pricing, well, those 3 things are big issues, and you've really accomplished a lot. Because then you could, by the way, naturally say, well, would you like to get this started the first week of next month or the second week? Well, that is like asking for the sale. You are asking for the sale. Now, if they want to, great, but if they don't, they can raise an objection. And they might say, well, I have this other objection. And that's fine, because you can talk about it and you can deal with that objection, overcome that objection. But now that's happened. Well, what if the person says, well, I have to talk to my big boss and he won't be in until next Tuesday. I can't get final approval until I talk to my boss. Well, you could say, I'll tell you what, I'll call you then Tuesday afternoon after you're done talking with him and see how that meeting goes. Well, see, you know when to call back now, Tuesday afternoon, to see if there were any objections from his boss. You know exactly when to call back and what the purpose of that follow-up call is. When you take charge of the selling situation from the beginning and you get agreement, then that agreement lets you know when to call back, what to say in that call, and whether or not you're calling too much. And you probably would not be calling too much because you know why you're calling. So taking charge of the selling situation from the beginning is the way to go. I hope that's helped today. And there's some other things you can do though. In fact, I want to talk about it next time. Next time there are 3 specific things that you can add to your marketing and even how you're handling your selling, personal one-on-one selling, that will do what we call make them decide. So if they're dragging their heels and they won't decide to go with you, there are some things you can add to make them decide. If you ever hear the comment from someone saying, well, I think we'll look at this next month or a couple months from now again, here's a few things that you could do to help make them decide, and we'll talk about it next time. Until then, remember that you can do this. You really can.